Today we're doing more of that mod that turns BTD6 into a roguelike. Or BTD7 apparently. Again, big shout out to Mend on YouTube for making the mod. Today's premise is pretty simple. We're gonna combine the rogue mode and chimps together to see if it is possible. Now to stay true to what chimps is, I'm gonna keep it on hard mode because I'm pretty sure the difference between like these difficulty modes is just the pricing of towers. So hard to be accurate, let me just untick all these boxes and let's do it. So it's not just chimps mode, but it's also 120 rounds of randomized chimps. And before I continue here, I should mention I also tinkered with the settings too, and I'm only gonna allow myself to use one hero because I felt like having multiple heroes were too OP. As you guys know, I like it tough. Anyways, I'm gonna pick a door because door is a good late game hero. If I had to pick one of them, probably the strongest, and let's do sub. Also, I might have lied a little bit. These are actually not hard prices. It's actually even a bit tougher than hard because usually this costs $4.85. If I want to do some quick math, then we actually have 14% more expensive towers compared to medium mode. Normally hard is 8% also. I can't win. Well, I think it's only fair after seeing that to lower the difficulty a little bit. Also, it does seem like the balloons are a bit easier when you lower difficulty, so okay. It's not just pricing. Also, gurgling sounds can be heard echoing loudly if that's Bloon areas. I feel like even with just medium prices, it's going to provide a really tough challenge because friendly reminder that the definition of roguelike is supposed to be permadeath, so I'm actually not supposed to restart at all. AKA, this is supposed to be a 120 round black border run, which I'll try my best to stay true to. And again, not only do I have to deal with normal rounds here, I have to beat bosses too, which are going to be a pain in the butt for the first years, because I think the reason's obvious. Also, these towers all suck. Let's reroll. Now I would go Super Monkey for the epic late game, but I think I gotta go for the boat. Let's also get Adora now right here. I think even on medium, she should be leveling decently faster. Remember in Popple, she was like speed running levels. Don't know if it'll be the case here though. It looks like she's leveling pretty slowly. Boat's good because I can give it like a cam protection so that intel works on it, which I do need. These randomized rounds here will give like camo balloons at some point. I forget when, but I might as well rush this ASAP just in case. And let's see what we can round off our defense with after this round here. We can do Discount Village, more subs, or Pin Monkey. You guys know I love discounts, but it's too early. And I don't have enough, like, true damage towers, so I'm just gonna do more subs. Anyways, Tier 1 Bloon Ares entered the chat. It is a very weakened Bloon Ares, as you see. He's only gurgling out blue balloons. I should probably... Oh, yeah, I'll target the sub one strong, just to get the damage down a little bit faster. Park Path should be long enough that we should win, even though we're not making any more money. That's why I'm not really dropping, like, more subs. Although, I think I will do it when we hit a skull. Yep, there's a skull. I'll save Adora's ability for those scary dense yellows. Looks like all I need is intel on the fin of Bloon Ares, and it's enough for the sub to still attack. Anytime now. Yep, there's skull 2. Adora. Skull 3 when? Okay, there we go, there we go. Adora. And we're good. Yeah, that got a little bit close for comfort, I will admit. So, you feel the energy of the air currents being able to pick up. I'm pretty sure all of you can tell what that boss is without me needing to say it, so... yeah, let's move on. Second airburst sub. In fact, airburst subs are great against that boss because, well, infinite range. Now, for these, I'm not just looking at boss damage, but also what's useful late game. I don't think any of these three, like, can hold off a lot of rounds of chimps. Arctic Wind? Yeah, it's the best late game thing I have. I do have to take these random rounds slowly, though, in case we get hit by, like, a random rear rush. So far, so good, though. 15k save, nice. We technically only have 2 options to choose from here, so, reroll. Okay, well, I think the choice is obvious here. Spike balls. In fact, I can get started right now. This is great. Now I have a safety net. And a safety net's probably one of the most important things to have in, well, chimps mode. So, I don't know, though, if, like, getting just one more airburst will be enough. Yeah, even these AI balloons are killing us. I'm gonna do a second spike balls over here. I don't want it in the back just in case, like, I don't know, we somehow don't have enough damage. I'll do a Cold Snap here, too. Arctic Wind. We haven't even hit one skull Vortex yet. I don't know what to do. All my subs aren't strong. And I'm pretty sure when Vortex hits the skull, all the spikes disappear, too. Like, watch this bend here. Yep. All gone. Skull number 2 right here. Actually, so long as Vortex doesn't, like, eat up our spike pile all the way back here, we should be fine. Like, it should have reached its last skull at about this spike ball. Yep. Please, before I completely run out of spikes. There we go, thank you. You know, low-key with the amount of money I have, maybe playing hard mode would have been easier, because, like, I would have more levels on Adora. Anyways, Dreadbloon is next, ground shakes beneath my feet. As it stands, I'd be absolutely boned, because I need lead popping, and, well, subs don't have that. Alright, game, what do you got for me after this round? We can do an Orca, an ODS, or a Tonic. It's gotta be Orca, yeah? Orca. Like, getting 3 B-Standers means I can get a pretty strong Orca, if the money's there, but as you see, at 24,000, I might as well spend that money now, yeah? Let's do it. Regrow Bloons up under the chat. Crap, I'm dead. Oh, crap. Do I sacrifice anything for Adora attack speed, or no? Orca on first? Okay, that was a bit scary. Now, this isn't gonna be useful late game, but I'm just gonna do Phoenix. Yeah, it's an insane mid game. We have to. Just a single deep breath. Anyways, here we go. Orca on strong. I think I will just max out, like, get 32 out of... Yeah, I'll get 32 out of C4. And actually, I think I should drop a second wizard, right? Because the support layer. Because right now, again, spike balls, and this is my only damage, minus Adora. Yep, so far so good. You gotta love those rock balloons moving at literally 1% speed. This is what everyone probably wishes, like, the normal Dreadbloon would have the rock balloon speed at. All my homies hate rock balloons, am I right, folks? Anyways, I think we're on support. We're on support layer, right? Yeah, not doing any damage. If Dreadbloon was an animal, it would definitely be a sloth. Easy tier 3. Anyways, we got balloon areas coming out again. Swampy Mist rise from an unknown presence. I think we also get tier 5 starting now, so okay, this should be spicy. I don't like any of these options though, especially an unbuffed Grandmaster. Solver, I think we can do better than that. Can we do better than this as well? You know what? Yeah, one more. I mean, I guess for boss damage, Master Bomber / Sticky Bomb will be okay. Okay, well, I probably gotta pick Elim here, right? It's not bad now, especially, like, after the layer skipping buff. Just a friendly reminder here that, yeah, come late game, the biggest problem is not the bosses, but it is the balloons. And I'm gonna need some cheap but good tier 5s, because I'm pretty sure the random rounds don't give you any money at all. So, should I just go Elim now? Because if I had to choose between that and a Master Bomb, I feel like just deleting RBE of Giant Collapse is better, so I think I'll just do it. Yes. Ah, crap, this is actually too many balloons. Adora? Okay, bad timing, especially since I am spawning a bunch of zebras. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't do this. I'm dead. Wait. I probably shouldn't have dropped that bomb. Don't worry, guys. Losing means extra content, so you should be happy that I lost there. Anyways, you got Vortex this time, and Dartlings. Shouldn't be too bad because Dartlings have flipper range. Tier 1 easy. Nice, I got a Super Monkey pick. And also early, if you saw, I got a double discount, which is going to be nutty. That I can pair with the Super Monkey. It's going to be a tight fit, but I think here's good. Yeah, double discount and like a 2-3-0 robo. We'll just go absolutely nuts. Next boss is Lunaris, by the way. Oh, V-Raptor here for sure. Yeah. We'll get that later, but for now, the 2-3-0 should pretty much solo Lunaris. Is that right? And easy. Also, next boss is yet another Balloon Harius. I think Ground Zero is a good keep. You know, that would have been really helpful for that earlier death. In the meantime, with our $40,000, let's go ahead and get a max V-Raptor. This run's looking way better than the first one in terms of, like, late game setup, so maybe losing was a blessing in disguise. Oh, we can even go back to the Orca strategy. Do we do it? You know, I think we do, because I could also, like, even if I don't go for Orca, I could still just spam Velociraptor if I felt like doing that instead, but yeah, we'll see. I think just ahead of time, let me just build my Ground Zero. And next boss, the boundaries time are blurred. English.exe has left the chat. Pretty sure that's phase. What do we have here? Permaspike, BMA, or Preemptive? I'm gonna risk a reroll. Okay, now we're talking here. All three of these towers I would have picked. Like, Ice Monkey would be great late game. P-Lord is solid solo. Homeland is Homeland. I think it's too expensive though in Chimps. We gotta go for the more efficient tier 5 option, so Ice it is. Plus, I think, I know Incan was checked off, but I don't know if the P-Lord actually would give, like, normal cash. But regardless, I don't think I could go wrong with Absolute Zero here. I'm just gonna buy it right now ahead of time. And what's next? Wow, we can get a true Sun God. Again, because money's an issue, I think the option is obvious. Even if we're not getting Peeber at the end. Yeah, you know what, screw it, let's just get it now. 401. Would it throw on this one first, or the sub here? Nope, it throws on the... Prioritize this 1 second, that's good, that's good. I don't think I should take this lightly, though. Should I go for my Beast Handlers, too? Let's see. Right now, it's just, you know, Velociraptor doing all the damage. There's one skull. Orca would also get, like, wrecked by the lack of camo. You know, this is the problem with no continuing, no retrying. It's just hard to decide whether you want to get that tower now or not. Like, the problem is if I go for Orca, I don't have money for whatever tier 5 option I end up rolling later, so... I think I'm gonna risk holding off. Okay, we still haven't hit a second skull yet, though. No, I think I just have to do it. It's getting way too far. Because the thing is, like, once the face hits his third skull, he's gonna spawn his wounds really forward, which is, well, obviously, really bad. I accidentally put this beast outside the water because I was panicking. Also, crap, I messed up too. This Orca doesn't have camo protection. Okay, hang on. Let's find a third beast under camo. I can't. Yeah, the way I have it set up right now, I'm screwed. Like, there is no beast spot. There's nothing I can do to get more damage unless I go V-Raptor. Crap, I have to go for 2 V-Raptors, I think, right? Yeah, okay. It's time. Yeah, this right now I'm worried about, like, if we have enough damage, because it's still not at the third skull yet. There it is. Please don't jump too far forward. That looks like it's enough time. You know what? I'll use a ground 0-2 for 700 damage. Since Orca, I think, should be fine. Now against the other stuff. Please, this is so close. Another nuke. Okay, maybe I... Oh, crap. Bruh. I'm dead. Okay, I shouldn't have used the nuke there. It's over. Okay, so even if I were to give myself 1 more life here, there's a bit of a glitch, as you see. Reloading into the game gives you all your upgrades again, but I guess we can pretend. Or rather, just try to remember what cross pads I had going into it, which I think it's easy, so... Oh, okay, never mind. Now there's no phase. Does the game mode still work? Oh my god, it doesn't work, does it? Okay, so it's actually permadeath. You can't even get a second chance if you reload. The game mode is bricked. Alright. Okay, in that case, this will be my 3rd and final attempt, no matter what happens. Funnily enough, this game, I have the same boss and the same towers. Next up is phase, by the way. Well, I am extra screwed this game because I used my rerolls, and this is all I have against phase. Literally 0-2 boats and an airburst. It would be funny if this actually beat phase. That's skull 2, by the way. You know what? If I do 1 more boat, there is a chance. Yep, 3rd skull. And final layer. We're gonna beat this last minute, aren't we? Nice. Also, quickly, let's get an Arctic Wind. This run is worse than the other 2. It would be kind of funny if this would end up being the one that we can salvage. Even though I don't have mob damage right now, we just have to pick Alchemist. Whether we win here will all come down to our choice here. Do we think T-Rex can solo here? I think we gotta try, yeah? T-Rex is good late game, too. Now I just need some counter detection, goddamn. Once again, friendly reminder that degree 43 is the best beast handler for the T-Rex, so just, yeah, I gotta use all 5 of mine. Perfect. With an added source, and should be more than enough against Vortex here with its 60 damage for Chomp. Yep, it's looking good, folks. We don't even have to worry about the stun, too, because our main beast handler is all the way at the entrance. And this game also, we are indeed not going to play risky. We're gonna play to actually beat the current boss rather than play ahead, which was probably my demise last time. Next up is Dreadbloon, by the way, so I'm going to need some damage that is not only support. Noted. Okay, and Elite Defender, Master Bomber, nope. No sir, I don't like any of these. No, this year is interesting. If I could afford Radium, I'd get it, but I think we just have to go with the village. That would give us, like, you know, jungle drums and maybe called arms if I felt like doing that. Alright, this pick here has to be a good damage tower. I don't know if I trust Archmage enough, sadly. Do I trust Sub-Commander? Well, I can't afford a Inferno Ring, I don't think, by round 80, so yeah, I have to do this. I don't know if that's gonna be a good enough combo to beat 120 rounds, like Sub-Commander and T-Rex, but gotta try. First things first, I gotta give a mid, yeah? I can't even afford. No, I can. Barely. But, yep, it is looking like this run is going to be our best run so far, despite how awful looked at the beginning. GG. Now, I shouldn't forget the fact that we do have Adora. So, like, maybe it's worth spending the money to get Adora to level 20 instead. For, like, OP DPS. None of these are very good with the amount of money I have. Yeah, I gotta go for, like, cheap support options. Like, Giant Condor, just for the balloon defense, yeah. I'll pick that. Like, I want you to take a look closely about how much money, how slow the money is gonna roll in here. Also, I get all tier 5s of a tower if I pick these Paragons. It would have to be NG for Overclock, yes. 100%. And now for round 95, neither of these, nah. Sabo, maybe? I'll pick Sabo. Again, as you see, I've only made $14,000 in 20 rounds, which means I'm very strapped for cash. I think I'll just go ahead and upgrade 1 AP darts for the money. I can't even put a second one under the MIB. Ball light immediately. Bad timing with the Raider Jam. T-Rex OP, guys. T-Rex OP. Again, just wait for Raider Jam to time out and then use Ball Light for a bit of damage. Alright, that's the last jump forward, I believe. Now we just gotta focus on beating those random balloon spawns like that. FZMG, I think, that came out. Yep, this is it, everybody. Tier 4 has been beaten. Just 20 more gruesome rounds to go. I have to try to save up 5 more K for an overclock. I think that's my only real shot at surviving the next 20 rounds here. If I can, like, buff Adora a good amount also. Do you see how weak her defense is right now? It's so bad, and there's another phase coming out. Okay. I'm not too worried about that, I don't think. Oh, God. Here comes a BAD. How is Ball Light damage, by the way? Is it good? Decent. It's decent, but it's still taking a long time to even get it down all the way. On the bright side, we can make, like, scraps from the 2 ZMGs here. Wait for it, wait for it. Okay, no need to TRX stun, but yeah, that was a nice 1K from the bad. Bro, here comes another bad, though. If there's ever a round with multiple, it might be GG. So close to overclock, again. Everybody, please bow down to your Lord and Savior, the T-Rex, for absolutely carrying this run so far, although I guess the sub still has more damage than it. I don't think any of these next picks matter. I'm not going to afford it. How about, I don't know, Shell Shock. And it only took 4 rounds to make $1,000, but finally, there's Overclock, and right, I can sacrifice the crappy towers to get Adora, you know, leveled up closer to 20. I just forgot that was the thing. In fact, I can even remove, like, this to give space for, like, a sub under the camel range. I'll save it for attack speed fodder, though, for, like, for example, now. Overclock Adora. Oh god, these DTs are kind of scary. Take a look at this, though. Yep. I have another space for a submarine that I can't even buy to AP darts because of the money gain. Alright, more DDTs. Do I use more? Yeah, I'll use more attack speed fodder here with Overclock. Ideally, just try to save Ball Light in case we get, like, a random fortified DT round. And now, one last pick that probably does not even matter. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Great news, everybody. Adora made it to level 20 just in time. Okay, let's end this off, everybody. Oh god, oh god. FDTs immediately. Oh my god. Don't die. Yeah, I had to use everything immediately, which is scary. Now I don't have any abilities. Like, right now I have no idea what, like, balloons that are around me gonna spawn out are. If we get fortified DTs when everything's on cooldown, then you might as well call it GG at that point. I'll use some Dartling Gunner as sacrifice fodder. $7,000, what's the most useful thing here? Probably, as I wanted to do earlier, another sub. And do we risk using Ball Light just now? Yeah, I'll use it now. There's first skull. Should be good. Good news so far is I have yet to see any fortified DT since that initial spawn, which, well, of course, is a good sign. That's a halfway market phase, by the way. Oh, FDT. Crap, crap, crap. Stun here, right? Stun, stun, stun. Whew. I had everything on cooldown there. That could have been really bad. Actually, what happens if DTs come by when there's Radar Jam? Am I, like, dead? Well, I guess I can decam it with the foam here. I forgot about that. Please don't give us any awful RNG. I swear. I'm just gonna save all my abilities, because I know we can beat phase, it's just if they spawn anything wacky, I have to be prepared. Oh, there's a DT. Stun? I don't know if I should have used a stun for like a non-fortified, but Well, that's why I got Ball Light, I guess. For, like, something up. Level 3, level 3, level 3. Crap. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Come on, maybe I should just burst down phase instead. Like, I'm pretty sure Ball Light here can just finish it off, right? But I don't want to risk it. Because I can't see the HP bar, obviously. I'd say so long as we have T-Rex done, which takes camera no matter what, we'll be fine. We'll use a Sacrifice. Give your attack speed, and there it is. Oh, that was scary. Yeah, stakes are really high when you cannot, like, you have no margin for error. If you die once, it's over. Which made it really annoying, but satisfying to finally see a victory screen. GG. Today we are back with more of the mod that turns every tower into a Blade Maelstrom. I have showcased this in the past several times before, but I think there's still a lot of towers that I didn't actually try out, so we'll go ahead and check it out on this custom map. I just randomly found it in the map browser. I tried to look for a map that just had, like, a circle without going infinite times, so that it wouldn't be the easiest cakewalk of all time. And I guess this is the closest I could find to fit the Maelstrom's needs. So just to quickly see how this map loops around. It actually loops around a pretty good amount of times, like 1.5 loops between circle before exiting. I would have thought it would only be 1, but I guess that makes it all the more easier. Alright, let's drop some stuff down that we didn't see before. How about Quincy? I mean, the result should be as you expect. He shoots arrows in a Maelstrom formation. So if it hasn't been noted before, not every single tower inherits this Maelstrom ability. Obviously stuff that doesn't have projectiles, like for example Ice Tower, there is no ability whatsoever. There's also some that do have projectiles, but for some reason don't work. Like for example the Monkey Ace. I guess that has something to do with it being a flying tower and the pad not actually being the tower itself. But let me just show you the same applies with the Mortar, same applies with the Spike Factory, and same applies to the Heli Pilot and the Beast Handler, just to get that out of the way first. And now let's see some more epic Maelstrom action. In fact, whoa, if I combo with Quincy's ability, well, obviously, the sprite also changes, which is cool. How about submarines? I'm curious to see how seeking projectiles will work with this mod. I'll do a Barb Darts for more pierce. It kind of goes without saying that you want towers that have a very strong base projectile, so that because, like, the Maelstrom shoots the same number of projectiles every single time, so increasing attack speed will do nothing. But take a look at that. Barb Darts, OP, with the Seeking. There is some merit to going Twin Guns, though, and that is to unlock Airburst, because I'm pretty sure every single dart now will Airburst. Watch this. Sheesh. As you would expect, the balloons don't stand a chance against this incredibly overpowered mod. And that is also why we have double HP mobs enabled, so that we actually have a bit more of a challenge for the balloons, although still, double HP ain't gonna be much against that. Unfortunately, that's the best you can do with the map editor at the moment, just without being able to customize the percentages. Let me test the ballistic missile. I don't think it shoots at the ballistic, no. So, similar to, I guess, other mods that of this caliber, like the custom projectiles, it only applies to the I guess the main projectile. So with Quincy, I don't think there'll be any explosions. Just his arrows. That is all. I think I've seen enough of the ballistic, so let's switch it out for... Well, how about another water tower? Talking about the boat. Kind of curious about what that shoots out. Let's just try cannon shit for now. And let her rip. Well, I didn't know it actually would shoot out multiple, like, projectiles. I guess those all considered the main. Either way, pretty cool stuff. Let's watch it decimate through 47. Nice, nice, nice. What's next to test? How about a boomerang? You see, I also got a Chinook, just so that I could showcase the towers more clearly. I should also get D-Camo, just because to help out the boomerang. Boomerang's pretty interesting, though. You want the glaives? Actually, maybe I want the +1, but let's use it. Now that looks funky, because the glaives can't, you know, they're unique, because they come back, obviously. Now, I'm eager to try more glaives for, of course, the bouncing, but I kind of also want to see, first, what Kylie does. Oh, that looks even trippier. I don't think Molpress would end up doing the insane knockback thing, but wouldn't that be crazy? Let's try it out and see if it's possible. Yeah, Molpress is the exact same as Kylie, sadly. So, nothing too much to see there. I would assume the same applies to the Mob Dom. Actually, I'm pretty sure Mob Dom will be completely broken, because doesn't it explode? Its projectiles explode upon, like, expiring? Also, The Submerge sub still somehow has the Maelstrom ability of when Submerge. I mean, I guess it makes sense. The Projectile still exists in that sense. But I guess until getting the Mob-Dom, let's try the Morgleaves instead. For the fun factor. Let me try to wait for a more dense round, like 59, although the main Morgleaves is already doing a lot, so... Okay, not really a good round to showcase it on. Maybe 63 has more of a chance. Or maybe we can just break down this BFB real quick. Let's try. One ability. Nope. Mob damage is really bad there. Again, then. Nope. It only gets us down to Moabs. So here we go. 63. That didn't take long at all. Later on in the game, once the Energizer, like, does no damage relative to the balloon scaling, I will, you know, get Energizer for the 20% cooldowns, as well as get the P mentoring training for any primaries. Even though there's a Maelstrom icon, no, you do not get the 10%, 20%, like, cooldown reduction on military magic monkeys that have this effect. Speaking of magic monkeys, let's try an Arcane Spike. The main bolt, I think, is pretty strong with it also Seeking. Sense of Pattern, guys. Anything that's Seeking is pretty darn good. You guys want to see the Arcane Spike ability again? Take a look at that beautiful, beautiful scenery. This is also a disclaimer in advance that I did a bit more testing offline, and some stuff like Paragons do not work, just as a heads up, in case you're wondering when am I gonna get that. Never. I think after this round, though, it's time to try something new. See if it actually makes it N76. No, it does not. Nope. So let me redo one. I guess something that would be interesting to try out would be the Hydra Rocket Storm, perhaps, with 042, so there's more Pierce on them. I have to wait for the ability to come up, though, so hopefully it's fast enough. So for those who don't know, it basically acts the exact same as a Maelstrom, like the cooldown-wise, everything else. And one ability that did not. Surprisingly, did not do enough damage. That makes sense, though, because the, what do you call it? This thing only has, like, 1 damage. Somehow, it was enough, though. We take those, so it's unsurprising that the MAD would be incredibly broken. So I'm not gonna try that just yet. Let me actually get some build order here. That slowly gets stronger. Let's try Tier 5 for the first time. Crossbow Master sounds interesting. For no reason other than that, I don't know, the main projectile is decently good. Although when I mean decently good, visually, it's kind of underwhelming because the projectile is so small. We're not really seeing much flashy stuff. Okay then, I think Recursive Cluster sounds really flashy. Oh right, I should give it a hit because it doesn't pop zebras anymore. Just in case it's a Riga farm. But yeah, you want to see lots of explosions? Here you go. Here you go, everybody. And even with the walls on the track too, being the trees, you can see them explode before they hit the edge of the map, thus creating, again, another visually stunning ability. And again, it's also really strong. Let's wait for the Watermelon ZMG in here. See how much damage Recursive Maelstrom can do. Oh my god. Okay. I have no more words for that. That wasn't even the full Maelstrom ability, as you saw. There's still some leftover for round 81. Holy moly, though, that was beautiful. So, essentially, this ability can wipe out, I guess, any round once it gets near enough to the Recursive. So let's wait again for 82 here and use the ability to one-shot the round. Everything except for that one balloon that was on the left side. That is disgusting. Now, could you imagine the Bomblets? That gets extra damage. And you know what? Since we're already here, sure, let's get Bomblets. And let's also, I would say it's a good idea to freeze the water so that we have it on the first loop rather than the second. You also can't Chinook onto Frozen Land, so sorry, I'm gonna have to remove you and get a new one, and then here it is. Yup. Primary training also affects the potency of those bombs, so we're getting that too, as well as the 10% cooldown reduction. How long can we last with Sky? Well, I'm gonna experiment with that, considering we found, at least so far, this is the strongest one I've found. So, you want to see me do it again? And again. And again. Keep in mind this is double HP Moabs. And one more time. JK, one more time here. Last time for real, I promise. 98. Please ignore the lost lives. Okay, one last try for round 100, just to see if we can one-shot the bat, possibly. Nah, I did about 20,000 damage. Pretty good, though, all things considered. One more time. think we'll need 3 abilities to kill this. And 3 it is. Actually, I lied. 4 abilities. Alright. Now it's time to try what I was wanting to try. The Mob Domination. 205 for the stronger. Now, who's ready to see explosions everywhere? I sure am. Actually, not quite. Not quite. I apologize, everybody, for I am a stupid. The explosion attack is on the press, not the main projectile. Let's shift our attention toward, I guess, Quincy again. Level 20 Quincy. How strong is he? Well, without any buffs, it's pretty weak. I got a Mob Elim now. I'm curious to see how good this thing is. I feel like it should be good, considering, I mean, it did do 200k in one ability. That's not bad. But yeah, each Mob Missile does 100 damage, so it should add up. However, I guess it's still outscaled by the double HP. Bomblets being better than it. Time for the big boys to shine, I guess. So, I guess the only correct stepping stone to go after the Elim would be the MAD. It does over 5 times more damage than, well, the Mobile Limb, so it should wipe the floor, right? Well, to everything against Rems, obviously. So, I guess that's where I'll try to use Quincy to save me. Come on. This mad ability is not up yet. I guess seeing this, it's probably a good idea to go for a tower that would complement me in, like, dealing with the ceramics. I did say earlier that ice towers don't work, per se, but if you upgrade to, say, bottom path tier 3, take a look at that, there's now an ability. So that sounds like a decent combo, right? You use the mad ability here to destroy the mob layer, and then you icicle to freeze all the cerams. Holy heck, that lag. We can also do Impale as well, and why don't we? For extra mob damage too. Yeah, as if the ability to freeze Glimpse wasn't good enough. It does a lot of damage too, like 200k in that one ability there. It must be my eyes to see for me, but why does it feel like the mad ability isn't much stronger than the Impale? Like, let me use Impale here, and I'll do like 200k damage in one ability. Well, close to. And then I'll use the Maelstrom Mad, and that also does 200k. Look. Isn't that interesting? I'm assuming I might have to do the Pierce. I'm pretty sure the Ice Pierce is more than the Mad, but would that really make up, like, the damage difference? It's 50, remember, compared to, like, 500 plus. You know, judging from the very start of the game, I thought this mob was gonna be insanely mega broken. But I guess it was insanely mega broken in the early game, but now that we reach, like, even early free play here, they're not quite wiping the floor as I expected. So I guess with that said, it's time to move on to bigger and better things, right? Also, before that, I will just go over some other upgrades I tested that don't have a Maelstrom. For example, Passive Accelerator loses it, same with the Ray of Doom. Kinda obvious, but Sniper also doesn't, unless you get by Shrapnel, in which case, it actually Maelstroms out the Shrapnel, if you look carefully. Well, not here, but watch here. Yeah, that is, that's a very, very strong Maelstrom mod, alright? With Sniper. And I'm kinda surprised that the Expertise itself is not one that gets a Maelstrom. Unlucky. Alright, I guess I didn't try Druids yet, so let's swap out the Mad, because I guess the Ice is already doing enough for me. I'm pretty sure Avatar Wrath is pretty useless, considering that what's good about it is the massive amount of projectiles. But because the Maelstrom has the same amount, yeah, doesn't, like, prop good lightning either. Next. Spirit of the Forest I doubt does anything, but let's just try. Yeah, nothing much really. We use the main Maelstrom ability, and damage doesn't really go up. Actually, hold up. Let me just slow down here. Are you guys noticing something? I'm not using the ability, but the Spirit of the Forest has a permanent ring. Can we actually double up on that with a Maelstrom? Let me just see if I can see that. Yeah, I think I do see double the amount of projectiles. It is pretty weak, obviously, because the thing only does a little bit of damage. But still, that's interesting, and I guess a cherry on top to make up for how weak it is. Alright, let's just Vine Explosion then. Next, let's just start off with Ball Lightning. Hold up. What is going on? That is satisfying to look at. And somehow I thought it would be similar to other towers and just, like, use a Thorn Attack. But no, it also Maelstroms out the Ball Lightning. Holy crap. Even the tier 4 does insane damage. Probably because, like, every Ball Lightning has a Maelstrom. So could you imagine what Superstorm would do? Well, let's get that in a biddy. For now, watch the insane Shade Lightning proc. Now that is nutty. Forget the Bomblets. This, I think, is the most OP, considering, you know, usually how bad the Ball Lightning is. Now this is just next level. Like, you know things are really broken when the game lags heavily upon using it. Again, one more time. Is it time we try Superstorm? Well, I guess I could just sell the Impale, so that I can fully showcase this thing, because this thing also knocks back Balloon, so it already does the Impale's job. Who's ready? Let's actually wait for a 119 to start to showcase it. Actually, this is probably not a good idea, because you can't blow back a bat, but I guess we'll see how much damage it does. In 3, 2, and 1. Let us see what the Superstorm has. Covers the entire map in tornadoes and ball lightning. Obviously, didn't do a lot of damage because it's not meant for bad damage. But even then, no, it's actually, it only took 2 abilities. 1 ability, actually, no, 1. Right, again, the lightning. The more bads are on screen, the more damage it actually ends up doing. And then 1 more ability here to end it all off. Sheesh. Ladies and gents, I think we have officially beaten Balloon's TD6. Where else do we go from here? Other than, I guess, making the Superstorm stronger? Sure, we could do that. Interesting enough, I bought the Super Brittle, and there is now a Maelstrom ability. What does it do? It does the Ice Shard. I wonder if that shard actually increases, like, damage of the balloons. I guess one way to try that would be Dart Monkey, and then ability. Am I seeing any spikes of more than 3? Let me just try again here. No. Wait, what's going on? Wait, hang on. I moved the Super Brittle. Why does it have no range this time? Weird. It can't just be the primary mentoring difference, right? Like, watch again. Look how much extra range the mentoring gives us if that's the case. No, I don't believe it. I'm losing a lot of money doing this, but it's for science, yeah. That's a strange interaction. That is besides the point, though. It does not look like the shards will increase the damage, so that's unfortunate. I would have loved the global range Super Brittle. It actually takes quite a while to beat these rounds with the Superstorm because we keep blowing it back, so everything ends up leaving the circle after 1 ability. I actually still think Bomblets, like, steals the show in terms of doing, like, nutty damage. So I got that back so we can just use that ability instead to speed up the rounds a little bit. If I'm also remembering this correctly, then giving overclock buffs to the tower that you're gonna Maelstrom and Homeland will increase the amount of, well, damage, so let's do it. I even add Helm buff, so you guys can see the craziness. Can we beat the F-pad with 1 Bomblets ability? Not quite, but I'd say it's close. How about with an added Superstorm on top? That'll give, like, a good 20, 30k. Unfortunately, still just a tad bit shy of that, alright. 1 more Bomblets ability then, if we can get through the lag, to finish this off. So, in conclusion, Bomblets, most OP in this mod, and Superstorm, most visually stunning. At least those are my picks. And now one final test, if we can keep up the lag that is. We have 10x Ultra Boost and most, if not all, buffs already on the bomb. Fine, since I'm already here, 1 last P-Brew buff. But that is all. Now we shall see the Bomblets at peak buff. Peak Maelstrom, and it died. I'm gonna blame that on us not using the Superstorm ability. Let's skip to, like, I don't know, a random round like 169. Or rather, I guess 170. Yeah, that's more like it. Much more like it. We use the Superstorm while that's on cooldown. And then use Bomblets between them to do some good damage. If I'm noticing one thing, it is definitely that the Superstorm is really, really strong because the projectile moves so slowly, the cooldown is already, like, off over halfway by the time it disappears, so there's, like, pretty much no time for the balloons to exit the map. This is indeed the goated Maelstrom duo. The game's lagging so much that I'm not even, like, gonna use Homeland, because I guess we're probably gonna beat anyways, seeing how disgusting this is. So, that does it. Thank you all for watching. I don't know how many of you remember the modded boss pack I did a couple months ago, but it's been updated to now have 10 bosses, and I want to check a couple of them out. Yeah, some of them look really interesting, and it's been updated to have this slick new UI to show you all the info in-game, so here are the 2 I plan to cover today. First off, is Damnaticum. Play with this balloon and you'll get burned. So shouts out to Warperson for the boss pack once again. As you can see, this has the speed of twice of a bad, and the health is 1. You're probably wondering, how does a boss with 1 health become challenging at all? Because if you look at the next tiers, you can see even at the tier 5, it's still at 1 HP. Well, I'll explain more in a bit. I'm going to combine it with Despectus. I might be weak, but I can always call for backup. And let's see, it moves 33% faster than a bad, 22.5k HP at tier 1. And it looks like the special effects are that it spawns around 49 when it hits the 1 skull, and then every 3 seconds it spawns a couple of camo yellows. And on top of that, this icon means that the boss is camo property, so you must use camo towers to pop it. And if we just take a look at the later tiers, it looks like every skull just spawns a later round, which doesn't seem that tough at all. The toughest part is definitely the timer, which spawns, 10 fortified leads is not really that scary, but 3 DTs are for round 80, and then Mini Leech tier 3 for tier 4, and Elite tier 5 Mini Leech on tier 5. And on that note, I should also mention that this mod has been updated so that you can combine bosses. So that's how I'm going to be able to tackle 2 bosses at once. How I have it configured right now is I'm only going to show off Damnaticum for the tier 1. You'll see why in a bit, and then we'll combine both of them for the last 4 tiers. Anyways, the map we're picking is Monkey Meadow. You might be wondering, isn't this too easy of a map for a player like me? Yes. Again, you'll understand why I picked it very, very soon, though. This map may not be as easy as it seems for a boss like this. That's all I'm gonna say. In the meantime, though, we shall farm as much money as we can get. This is a hard mode, by the way, so probably not gonna be able to snowball as hard for the early game. But truth be told, I don't think I'll go too hardcore for the farm, because as you saw with the tier 5 other boss, Despectus, that one only has 300k HP for tier 5, which is pretty weak, even for a normal boss. So I think if anything, the money will only matter for the first couple tiers, but obviously, if I can, might as well get those farms up. Oh yeah, and one thing I should also try to keep in mind is that lives are important. Once again, you will see why, but I should make sure not to lose too much more than 89. In fact, I should try to regenerate some lives back, so try to get as many marketplaces as possible, as soon as possible. Again, it's not really a big deal, though, because I won't need too much money for tier 1. At least I don't think. So here we go. Damnaticum has spawned. And as you can see, it starts with 7 HP, and one actually went up to 9. So here is what's up with Damnaticus. I'm going to sell every tower. I don't know if you noticed already, but if you do damage to Damnaticus, its HP increases. So there's no way of actually beating Damnaticus. Also, let me just go ahead and get a couple mauls from the mob here. How about 2 of them? And we're good. And let's sell the 2 mauls too, and let's see. Should I do Balloon Trap here? Let me, crap. It's too much range. 014. Okay, now it's up to 31 HP. I'm just gonna let those pinks leak, I guess, but I guess that's how I'm going to, not increase its HP, just by going for this thing over here. Although the nails actually might, yeah, they're gonna hit Damnaticus here. That's not good, that's not good. Let me unpause and do a little bit of selling here. How about that, and crap. Okay, surely now we should be good. I'll get an 014 to end off. 50 HP now. Yeah, this is Damnaticum, folks. It is the Test Balloon, and the Test Balloon is basically an anti-boss. Instead of trying to do as much damage as possible to it, you're supposed to avoid doing damage to it as much as possible, and in doing so, you, well, will lose the amount of lives that the HP has. So I'm going to lose 50 lives from this leaking here. Not the worst thing in the world, but I obviously would have loved to not leak anything at all. I'll just get a one more trap here in case. Also, wait, what? I think I lost lives, alright? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to click the NG here for whatever reason. But yeah, how's that for a boss, folks? That is why I need to combine, like, if I want this to be somewhat challenging, I need to combine this with another boss. Otherwise, the counterplay to it is fairly easy once I have enough money for it. Obviously, I struggled a little bit because it was my first time, and yeah, I was in a bit of a panic, but I should have an easier understanding of what to do now for Tier 2. Another important note that I should mention is that the Damnaticum HP, the Test Balloon HP, will stay the same for the next tier, so it'll lose 50 lives every time. Which is why it was important for me to, like, not do any damage at all, so that, you know, I could have a bit more leeway for the later tiers, but that's whatever. I think, again, if you have enough marketplaces on the screen and all that, you can pretty much regain all your lives between the 20 rounds of bosses. A couple tidbits to know here is that the max lives you can get is technically 1,000, or rather, if you try to gain lives over 1,000, the amount that you get is reduced by like 95%. So it's very hard to get over 1k in the first place. Basically, that means if the test balloon gets any more than 1,000 HP, 1,000 damage done to it, I am pretty much gonzo. So it is very important to not mess up, and I feel like the life gain is a little bit slow right now. How about I just go for a Chinook since there is a bit of space? And honestly, Chinook actually might be decent because I can move towers instead of needing to sell them to like where the test balloon is not, so that it doesn't do damage to it. Obviously though, if I have enough money, I might as well just sell it rather than use an ability for it. But yeah, that is always useful to have alongside the life crate slash money crate. I'm not sure how much lives I'm gonna get from it, but I guess we'll see right about now. That's 12 lives. Yeah, that's not really that great, but I think it gives you slightly more lives per round as opposed to the central market, which is only 3, but yeah, not a big deal. So in advance to round 60, auto start has left the chat. I'm gonna sell every damage tower, and considering how I did tier 1, I think I might start with a similar strategy for tier 2. So here's what I'll do. Camo Village, Big Trap, and I guess I have to play the round to drop it and then sell it. Yeah, I think I'll do that, so let's go. Sell this, and you see it? There are now 2 bosses up on the menu over here, and what's cool about this UI too is that you can hide the HP bar if it like clutters everything. Obviously it doesn't clutter right now, so I will include both actually. I think I did a little bit oopsie and it doesn't show both anymore, but that's fine. So I'm gonna let the test balloon leak and just let all the fortifieds go into the XXXL. And how much money do I have? 80,000. Okay, here's what I'll do. Very carefully. Plasma Accelerator. How much for a Ray of Doom? We'll sell 2 of these. And got it. The thing is, I don't know how big the test balloon hitbox is, so it might briefly touch here, which means I will target it away. See what I'm doing here? Now it's good to target down over here. I think just the Ray of Doom is enough to take down the, what do you call it, Despectus. As you see, only 45k HP, and the Skull shouldn't matter too much. 4 or 5 lights are not really a big deal. I'm just gonna hover the test balloon, because I obviously don't want to do any damage to that whatsoever. So, honestly, we should just, like, yeah, let's move it away and just ensure that we don't get any damage on it. So, just like that, in 10 minutes, we have solved how to beat the test balloon. So, let it leak. And, yep, it is gone. Down to 376 lives, not a big deal. And let's just focus down the rest. Not gonna lie, Despectus got way further than I thought. Actually, am I gonna pop this time? Why is it not doing as much damage as I thought it would? Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit close for comfort, but we're good. Let me go ahead and sell it now. Please excuse my very, very, very inefficient farming slash selling. Let's just get a tax zone here to ensure we beat the next 20 rounds here. And now we prepare for tier 3. So if I remember correctly, the Despectus spawns 3 DDTs during its timer. I don't know if the XXXL can actually eat up, like, constantly 3 DDTs. I think it can handle just a set of 3, but if there's any more than that, then I need a new one. Also, we're up to 1k, over 1k lives. So I guess that's cool. And anything over the overkill of 1k is just the tier on top. But I feel like if I mess up at any point during later rounds, it'll do so much damage that, like, 50 and 1,000 lives won't matter. But obviously it buys you a little bit of leeway, and I kind of like this boss because it has a different strategy to it, and that is, well, Paragons are not as OP as anything, because I'm looking at every Paragon, I don't think any of them can avoid doing damage to, well, other bosses. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell these towers now, by the way. And I guess let me see if the same strategy can end up working. So I'll do Ray of Doom plus Homeland, and then let me see if it refreshes a new trap here. I don't think it does, but that would be cool. Here we go. Yep, 90k HP this time, twice as much as before, and yeah, I don't think he spawned a new trap at all. So this'll be interesting. Should I use my? I can't target my Ray of Doom, or can I? A little bit. Okay, there we go. That works out. Let's use a Homeland now, and I won. Okay, I can still do free play. Ignore that. This is just hard mode. Yep. Test balloon is getting here now, so let's move this to this side. And now that test balloon is over here, come on. I think it's not following everything I'm doing properly because those, what do you call it? Those overlays are in the way. So I'm trying to push it up, but it's not working. I'm gonna have to tank all this, I think. Or not, hang on. BTD6 here. And back up you go. If you ask me, I definitely think a balloon crush should be really good. Do I think it'll hit the test balloon anyway? I don't think so. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get it. This will help stall that DDT, those DDTs that spawn very occasionally. It's a good thing that they don't spawn on top of the boss, like if it was on Balloon Ares. That would be extra deadly. It's nice they give us the full length of the map. And wait, what? How did the test balloon get 1235 HP? I did not see that. Well, guys, I think we lost. Also, wait, no, it's bugged. It went down to 161. That's very strange. I'm gonna need to look at that replay there, but we'll survive this if it's only 161. Actually, it only leaked us 50 lives. I'm not sure what's going on, but regardless, I'm gonna say we survived that, because I personally didn't see any point that we did 1,000 damage. Okay, I took a look at the replay, and here's what I saw. If you look for a very brief moment, I tilted my Ray of Doom down enough that it touched the test balloon, and I guess the hitbox of the boss is a bit bigger than what it actually shows, so that's what it did. That's what did 1.2k damage, and I'm not sure why it reverted to 161 at some point. Maybe it only took into account the damage or time effect, but consider ourselves very lucky, I guess. Perhaps I should have farmed harder to get more than 1.2k overkill. But I am very glad the game has given us a second chance. Anyways, because this is apparently too close to that part of the track, I'm gonna sell that farm and get a spot for the Dartling gun a little bit higher that will almost guarantee that nothing hits. I guarantee it. Now, I would also go for an Ultra Boost, but I'm pretty sure on this map there's like no spot, because the Ultra Boost has so much range, that will avoid like any part of the track. But maybe I should just take the hit, because I mean it's only what, 20 damage? Like, let's just see over here. Yeah, that's gonna pop a couple balloons. Each nail only does 1 damage as long as I don't do anything to it. I think it's worth doing. So tier 4, here's where I think it gets interesting, because Lich. I can't just simply let Lich go into the trap. I have to beat it, otherwise I think I lose. Let me again just sell the Balloon Crush to start off. Do note though that's only a normal tier 3, so the HP isn't that high, but I think I have an idea of what to do here. Let me just play the round. I'll pause if necessary. Let's get 180k HP this time. And let's see, the Ultra Boost actually isn't even hitting Despectus. Oh, no, now it is. Damn, 8 damage, that's a lot. Well, anyways, it is now out of range, so here we go. Try to damage that. Oh, yeah, that's a really weak Elite Lich, or Lich Mini Soul. That 8x Ultra Boost is coming in really handy, and let's play it really safe this time. Avoid at all costs. Oh, crap, why does the NG have so much range? It just went up to 273. That's still fine, by the way, but obviously not ideal. Hopefully that's the last time it does damage, but I'm pretty sure, like, it might still be able to hit Moabs, and then its Pierce will allow us to clip, you know? Also, crap. Hopefully that can take all the count purples there. Good, still 273, that's fine. Homeland's up again. Hopefully we can burst down this now. Okay, this is going to be really tight for tier 5, I feel like. Oh, Insta-Monkey. That's fine. Because, yeah, here's the problem with the tier 5. It's a tier 5 Elite Lich, so I have to do way more damage to it. I know the tier 3 was very easy to pop, but I don't think I could say the same for... Hang on. Let me retarget. Yeah, I don't think I can say the same for the tier 5 Elite. I'm gonna need to get... Not a Paragon, but... I might need to, like, do all 360k HP at once so it doesn't spawn at all. That's just my guess. Anyways, the test balloon is now leaked. We're down at 1431. And we've pro tier 4, so I guess I have 20 rounds to think about how I can possibly beat tier 5. Well, here's my first train of thought. What if we used snipers? Because I think because the Despectus is like slower than the test balloon, if I set it on last lane, it will never target the test balloon, so long as the Despectus is alive. So what if I have a temple over here to like give buffs to the elite defenders and all that on last, bunch of full autos and all that, and then just sell it before Despectus pops. and or sell the temple if the test balloon gets this close. And I think I'm gonna clear. It's kind of risky, so what I'll do is I won't buy the upgrades for now. Actually, let me get the temple first. So I'm only gonna get a support temple. True Sun God, I guess? Or is that too much range? Might be a bit risky if I go TSG, so I'll stop at Sun Temple, honestly. Of course, so make sure to get a Perm Brew up here too to buff our snipers and then sell it if it gets close to test balloon at all. And Legend Knight might be good for just non-balloons at leak, but I'm worried about using it because, again, it has a ricochet attack now. And Monkey Meadow, as I mentioned, might not be as easy as it sounded initially because, honestly, the longer the map is, the harder this could be because the test balloon is on the track for a longer time. Although I guess you could argue that, you know, the other boss has less time to be able to pop it. But I think the difficulty spikes whenever there's no spot that towers can, like, avoid the track altogether. So I think I'll just avoid Legend Knight for now. I don't see any spot where I know 100% it won't do any damage to the test balloon. Anyways, let's get this set up. So first things first, lock in place. Lock in place. I'm not going to buy too many snipers in case, for some reason, it damages the test balloon. So I have some leeway to sell them if anything goes awry. So 3, 2, 1. Let's play this out slowly. 273. And waiting for... No. Sal. 633. Okay, now it's on last, right? Yeah, I think now I can start targeting, like, this. Well, it's not even doing any damage. Also, I gotta sell that because the TSG... Oh, this is going very badly, guys. I'm gonna use a boost here. I think I'm dead. Yeah, last is not targeting the right thing. If I do end strong, it will target the test balloon, by the way. So that is why. And now it's up to 3,000, so I think this run is kind of donezo. Shall we retry? Yes, I think I will. Let's use a continue real quick. Now, I think the problem is that with this mod, every time I retry, the HP still remains the same as it was previously. And it seems like, actually, let me try to show it on the screen. Yeah, it's up to, well, I see 19,000. Not really sure what I can do about that. Alright, I reloaded the game, and I think that's the only way to fix it. Although, as you see, the only problem is that it starts off at 1 HP. But we can just pretend that... And I also only have 100 lives for whatever reason. Uh-oh. Well, I guess this is a close enough test. Like, if I lose any lives again, I'm probably dead entirely. Let's do this. Ultra boost the Ray of Doom. I guess that's the play right now. Only have this thing do damage, and then... move it away. Here comes tier 5, by the way. I'm so screwed. What do I do? Well, I'm gonna move it around town, if possible. But I'm pretty sure there's no way to beat this. Unless maybe Legend of the Night somehow works. And I die to... Oh, right! The Lich Soul takes away lives every tick. So because I only have 100, and... oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have, restarted. Because yeah, remember, continuing loses you, like, it just regenerates back to 100, so I think this could be a dead end. Let's just see if I can salvage this run then. So I'm gonna get the Mad and the Radium up here. Play the round. Let's sell the Engie here. Let's try to show the HP of the test balloon. Let's unlock both Dartlings, and slowly but surely, do damage to the boss. I don't think it's enough to do 300k though, unfortunately, in the time that I needed to. But that's pretty much our best shot. How much does Lich... 27 per tick? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dire then. Let's see what I could do. I have 2 ticks remaining for what I could get it to. And let me just see the HP. Oh, I did half. But that's not close enough. I know this is a long shot, but what if we tried to get the Ace Paragon and then have the Carpet Bomb do only damage to that? But I'm pretty sure... yeah, it has 300, 400k HP now. That's obviously not it. Let's just quickly try the following, though. I'll get Avatar Wrath. Nope, I already did 12k damage instantly. I want to try setting out in last to try to get the, like, only that boss, but yeah, that's simply impossible, guys. The way I see it, I can beat one of 2 bosses just by beating the Damnat, or rather the Despectus before the Elite Lich spawns, so that I don't lose all my lives. But at the expense of doing too much damage to the test balloon, so we'll just at least beat one of the 2 bosses for completionist sake. I don't think it really matters what degree I get on it. It'll pop the Despectus pretty much in a couple seconds, I think. So let's play it out, and Homeland, and Ultra Boost. And I guess this is not doing as much damage as I thought it would. Come on, 70, 60, 40, 4 Elite Lich spawns. Thank you. We popped it. Let's sell the towers, and yeah. We let the test balloon get up to 240k HP. Impossible to tank it fully, sadly. Unless, of course, a certain cheese exists where I could use, maybe, a tier 5 Legend of the Night, maybe? Well, let's wait and see if I survive or not. Nope, yeah, that's about as far as I can do, unfortunately. If I had to redo things, I'm not sure. Perhaps you can use your backseating powers to figure out what would possibly be those 2 bosses for tier 5, but otherwise, I'm good for today. Thanks for watching. Despite the L at the end, I think this is a pretty interesting boss combo. I've got a couple modded bosses to showcase today, and these ones are very, very spicy. Shouts out to Warp-Sun again for making these mods. Check out the previous video on this boss pack if you haven't, but today we're going to showcase Modus and Goemon's students. Let's take a look at what they do. Balance and Chaos go hand in hand. And down below, it shows you the properties and what effects it has. So first off, it has black properties and frozen. So you need a MIB or something else to be able to get through. And also, for each skull, it switches 2 towers' positions. And then for the timer, every 3 seconds, it moves around a random tower. So this is the boss that just completely messes up your entire defense. Especially if you do not go for global range towers. And I think to give myself a challenge, yes, I won't go for global range towers when I have to defeat this boss. And then you can see the HP amounts right here. Yeah, it gets pretty beefy, alright. 30 million for tier 5. That's basically an elite boss. And then Goemon's student over here. Sneakity, smackity. Your defense for DT is lackity. Honestly, this is the best boss based off description alone. Anyways, the skull effect here is that it stuns for 2 minutes or only 1 minute for Paragons. Most expensive tower that is not a farm, village, and is not already stunned. Basically, translation, do not use only 1 tower to beat this boss. This boss is camo properties, and the timer spawns a camo DDT, which is kind of crazy for tier 1, which is why, when I go to settings here, I can custom make what bosses spawn, and what I've decided is I'll alternate for the first couple tiers, and then for the last tier, I'll go with a bang. Try to beat both of these guys at once. Not sure exactly difficulty of this challenge, so we're gonna just do a middle-of-the-road, medium, intermediate map. Moon landing hard. I don't think any other restrictions. Let's just get Ben right now after popping enough balloons and get some more defense with the Star Monkey over here. So again, because I want to showcase the properties of this boss properly, I want to try some limited range towers, so I kind of wonder whether or not Attack Zone would be, well, viable at all. Obviously, if you couldn't place things in the middle, then no, because there's not really a good spot for it, but if we get lucky, it could, like, slowly shift the attack right in the middle, or, you know, worst case scenario, could just move it to the corner. That's a discussion for later, I guess, but if you ask me, I don't think I should go for 2 limited range towers. Again, I'm just banning infinite range, but I should go for stuff that has big range, so even if I get it a little bit unlucky, it still might do some decent damage. Not sure what that means for tier 1, but, I mean, Sticky Bomb can probably help for a little bit of it, but I don't know if you saw on the menu screen there, but this thing has 120k HP for tier 1, which is a lot more than even Elite Balloon Ares tier 1. So yeah, all things considered, I'll probably need more than just a Sticky Bomb. Anyways, kind of got a pretty scuffed early game going on right now, down to 24 lives. I think I probably shouldn't go for the 0-3-2. It's too expensive. It was a mistake dropping this thing out in the first place. Then I just need some global range, so how about just a base ace? I also have my farms in a Tetris-shaped position for whatever reason. Down to 1 life. That was all planned, folks. Actually, not all planned. That means I have to drop an extra ninja. Whoops. And now with Balloon Trap out of the way, I could probably go for the mini Monkyopolis too. So sell, 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 sell. Get you. Get you. Yeah, I have to sell the farm here. Get you out of the way, and let me just make a little bit more money. Come on, replace the trap. Need $10. Got it. And let me just get Raider Scanner so I don't have to roll camos, and we'll just ride away into round 40 and see how much money we have to deal with Modus. Please kindly ignore the fact that I made a really dumb decision to go for the non-range, so now I don't even have any farms to place this Monkyopolis to get extra cash in, but that's okay. I don't think it'll matter too much, hopefully. So let's get this party started, shall we? Again, I said I wanted to start with Sticky Bomb, and also I just remember that, you know, the skull for Goemon Student, or sorry, Modus, is one where it swaps 2 towers position, so that actually might be good for my Monkyopolis. I can still salvage it and have a better spot for it, but that's still not for a while, as you see. There's like a lot of HP to go through to get to the first skull. And I should mention that the swapping positions, or the moving every couple seconds of timer, is only 1 tower, and it moves at a small amount. You see, I don't know if you noticed there, but the Monkyopolis shifted. Picks 1 random tower, and it'll move it. So that means the more towers I have, the firmer positions they'll be. I think the Monkyopolis just moved again. Yep, just moved again. And yeah, I think you can see that even if I did get attack zone, it probably wouldn't move very much, or wouldn't really deviate from its usual position. I think with the money I have, though, I'm gonna go give it a shot. So we'll do this. Oh, it just shifted. Right on top of the track, actually, so that's even better. And right back, it moved right back to its original position. I probably should get a Jungle Drums village somewhere here. But yeah, I consider this more of a tanky boss than anything else. You can see that the marketplace now is shifted right on top of the Monkyopolis. That would actually be really nice if you could like clump things together, get as much things under the Opolis as possible. There's space here for a primary training, so I'll do it. I'm gonna keep it real. The damage looks pretty pitiful so far. I think it's... Is it taking 1 more loop outside? Okay. I guess it's a bit early to go for that embrittlement, but whatever. I also just realized that the Sticky Bomb can't even hit the bad here. Not much I can do about it. I think I'm just gonna agree. This thing actually moves pretty slowly for a boss. I think it was 1/3 of a bat speed. And also, doesn't that thing have black and frozen properties? So good thing we have embrittlement. Otherwise, Tank Snow wouldn't be doing damage. It's doing alright so far, though. Now we finally got a good spot. And wait, what just happened? Right. All of our towers shifted. I didn't realize that would happen. Like, I thought it only shift 2 towers, but I gotta read that description again, because it moved everything. Now what do I do? I guess I have to go for a Chinook. Also, my marketplace is in the corner for whatever reason. I guess Chinook, I'll allow it, because if stuff like this happens, then I'm pretty much screwed. But I guess you could also say it's my fault for picking, again, a small range champ in the first place. I guess I could just go for, you know, just selling the tower and rebuying it again. But I guess that cheeses a challenge more than, you know, Chinooking. So I'm gonna allow Chinooking, but, like, not selling and rebuying to fix my mistakes here, if that's okay. I'm not gonna have a lot of track radius to pop this thing. So let's go for multiple overdrives just to, you know, reduce the chance we get super unlucky. Maybe 1 overdrive lands on top on the next skull that it reaches. But yeah, this is good. We're cutting it pretty close, all things considered. Yeah, this is really bad. Let me Chinook the Sticky Bomb up here now, because I need something. So I'm preparing for the worst of what's to come for the next skull. Luckily, my Chinook ability is back up, so I will Chinook the attack zone. Where to go? Where to go? Oh, it's here. Okay. That's fine. I can't put it there because the Peach Ring is in the way. That's fine. Let's move back up here. And Monkyopolis is now in the corner. Hopefully, he doesn't fly off the map. I don't think that's physically possible. That would be really unlucky, if so. Let's see if Tax Zone can get the bat down for the last skull. It did. This one didn't move. A couple of my other towers did, though. Monkyopolis back in a good spot. I think, while this thing is in the crater, I'll move the Sticky Bomb only. Also, I'm dying. How are balloons leaking? I guess it might have to do with my Tax Zone placement, but yeah. Let's lock this in place. I think we can do the last 22k just with the Sticky Bomb, based on the speed of this thing alone. Again, it's been a very scuffed tier 1, but that's about to be expected with a boss like this. I'm just gonna overclock the farms in the meantime, while this thing can't do anything, or at least do a very small amount of damage. If nothing else, I just really hope we can pop this Modus before round 6 comes in. I'm actually not sure if I need to beat, you know, the boss before the next one comes in, but we got this. 10k to go, and we got overclock tax zone. I should have Chinook the embrittlement, that's okay. Come on, 6,000, 5,000, 3,000, and yeah, we needed every single bit of around there, and it is finally gone. Now let's try to rearrange our defense before the next boss comes in. So here it is, just a Goemon student, so let's try to remember. It spawns DDTs, 2 of them, so we should move Sticky Bomb first and foremost. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what other properties it had, but we shall see as the game goes on. As you see, yep, Sticky Bomb is OP. It tracks long enough that I can do, it can pop both of them in time. Now, I kind of wonder if I need to do anything else. Let me actually go for a primary training, just to embrittle. Maybe if we can do some damage here. That'd be nice. So I don't have to, like, rely on attack zone all the way back here. Speaking of which, I should move this, right? Like, maybe not to the entrance, but at least close enough to the entrance. Like, yeah, I'd say here's okay. That's also back in range of the, what do you call it, Alpha buff? Although I don't think Alpha is hitting it. Here come 3 DTs, by the way. Why are there 3 DTs? I thought there were only, wasn't there only supposed to be a couple of them spawning? Like, 2? Well, either way, we're not really doing much damage to this thing. Let me just go for an E-limb just to make sure we're safe here. I'm also wondering whether or not Ben's Siphon will work on DTs. Let me just try to time it. If we see Cerams come out, like Rigo Ceramics, then we know it works. Otherwise, yeah, nope, it does not work. It spawns 3 DTs. Again, not a big deal. I forgot what does the skull do again? We hit the skull. It did nothing. Oh, right, it stuns your strongest tower. So that would be the Elim, which means I can't use Elim anymore. Crap. Okay. That's pretty rough for us then, because I was relying on that to get, like, damage in. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Also, I'm dead. Crap. There's a DT leaking. Steamon missed it. Bruh. So it also appears that my save does not work, as you see. It's gone after I backed out, so... Oops. I didn't know it would do that. So I guess next time it happens, I will just take the hit and use continue. See you guys in 60 rounds, I guess.
A few moments later.
Okay, bad news, everyone. Apparently, the boss bugged out, and it won't spawn anymore, apparently, even if you die. So I guess because of that, I'm just gonna skip the tier 2 and go straight to tier 3 and 4, hoping that the game doesn't, you know, continue bugging out. Anyways, I guess you can see more of Gomon on tier 4, but for tier 3, let's focus on that first. So I guess it might be a little bit too late, or maybe not do enough damage for tier 3, but I'll see if I want to build into an Avatar Wrath, because that has, like, a decent range. That's not unlimited, so I'd allow it. And honestly, with the amount of money I have, Paragons are also on the table, but I think I'm just going to see if normal towers can beat it first. And I guess since I have so much excess cash, want to be sure I don't die to anything silly, so we'll just do a perma spike back here, just in case. So here it is, folks, 1.75 million HP. That's pretty much the HP of, like, you know, a normal elite boss, so I don't know if I can get away with this with only Paragons. I know how hard it is to do that, but I'll see. I have so much money that I can probably do, you know, the crazy stuff, so even Super Mines, if I can find space for it. I'll sell some weaker towers. Yeah, let's just go big or go home, right? So Super Mines, I'll probably find space for victory. It's free play. Shouldn't mess with anything, right? Nope. Let's go for Homeland too. I think with the higher tiers, it also moves the towers a little bit more. I saw that Druid shift a little bit more than tier 1 would normally shift the tower. Also, I guess with free play, the play around button is broken, so yeah, that's kind of how mods go sometimes. Hopefully, again, it doesn't break the rest of the game, but we'll see if we can beat it without getting any extra income, and without any other rounds coming in. I have a lot of money to work with here, so I think I should be fine. Also, I'll probably try Dark Champion too, because the thing is, I can use Dark Shift to move it, so I don't even need a Chinook, and I think I count that as a non-unlimited range tower. And here comes the shift. That's why I've got this. Unfortunately, all the farms have eaten up all the good space, which is very bad. Where did my super mines go? Okay, it's over here. Let me dark shift this back so I can see through the loop. Or I guess I can shoot over because monkey knowledge, but yeah. Homeland again. This is also very noticeable in that the DPS went down a lot when when the super mines went away. Luckily, it's already coming back in range, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Oh crap, my super mines got shifted to a bad spot. Well, I gotta wait for the next Chinook then. We're fine. I think all the signs are basically telling me I should probably go for another Chinook, because I don't have enough to keep up if I continue getting unlucky. Maybe another overclock too, yeah. We need to overclock, like, all the big towers at the same time. So, Druid of Wrath, or Avatar Wrath, and Dark Champion need buffs too. And just about now, we should be hitting the last skull. So, this is a final reshuffle. Luckily, I saved my Chinooks for just this moment. Dark Shift 2, back up here. Gotta love the global Dark Shift, by the way. And once we pop this thing, we should see if our game continues. Hopefully, that's the case. Come on, there we go. Yep. Free to continue for the next 19 rounds. I'd say the worst thing about having mode to shift everything around is that now my beer reps are all in the wrong spot, so I have to move my mouse everywhere to collect that, I guess. I mean, yeah, spare me some easier, folks. We'll use a power or two, just in the farmers only. And also, don't look now, but Tax Zone just got put in a really good spot. I guess it's probably too late for it to be useful, but It's still nice. Also, here's the bug I was talking about earlier with the boss being skipped. This was a tier 2 that I skipped. It got stuck at 36k because I died at about 36k. Hopefully it doesn't impede on the next Goemon student spawning. If so, then rip the run. So I think for tier 4, oh, game over. What just happened? Probably because there were two bosses spawning at once. Oh, yep. This is gonna keep happening over and over, isn't it? I knew that was going to be a mistake. Yep, instant game over the moment I restart. Play again. Damn. Okay, last time I'm doing this for real. No mess-ups.
More moments later.
So this time I made sure not to mess up the run. We've got every boss killed without, you know, continuing as well that. And yeah, tier 4 times. So only 500k HP, which means I don't need a Paragon, I don't think. I just need to smartly disable specific towers at a time. So, here's what I'm thinking. Right now, our most expensive tower is the Super Mines. So, that'll be disabled for Skull 1. And then I can just upgrade to Ledge of the Night for number 2. Or I could just go for a big plane. Maybe I should do that first? Actually, yeah, sure. I think the Super Mines does too much damage to disable early. So, actually, it's too late. Or rather, my bad. The Flying Fortress is cheaper, so duh. Even getting this didn't matter, but yeah. I'm pretty sure with this low HP, it won't matter too much. And it's basically a mini Vortex, because at this point, the DT spawning doesn't really matter. So I guess the scaling is a bit off in that regard. We'll just take our time for this tier, I guess. Also, it's camo, so I forgot to give the big plane some damage in. Skull 2 should disable this one. Or does it disable the same strongest tower? Well, let's find out really soon. So hit the Skull. And okay, it does stun the tower that had the most expensive thing that was not already stunned. And there we go. We actually got Super Mines right back. Right before, or right after the Skull hit. So that was pretty good timing. All skill, actually. And yeah, Super Mines is correct. That should be a GG easy. But again, we now combined 2 bosses from last year. So I think I'll probably need multiple Paragons. Also, look at the negative 75k pops. Not sure what that's about. But that's probably a sign that Super Mines is so good. It did so much damage that it went backwards. Now, I do remember saying early in the video that I didn't want to do infinite range challenge, which also includes Paragon. So I guess the pops I'm getting on Big Plane and, you know, the Spectre or the Sky Shredder aren't going to be used for anything. Yeah, sadly, I think I'm going to need to sell it. And here's what I'm thinking, I guess. For all the skulls of Goemon Student, or rather, we can try to pop that one first because it has less HP than Modus. So maybe don't get a Paragon until I can kill all skulls of that and not have to worry about Paragons getting stunned. Because I think Paragons getting stunned is basically a death sentence. So here it is, the final boss battle, the final tier. So only 1.9 million and only has 2 skulls. Keep that in mind. So first off, do I think Super Mines damage alone? Should I get Legend? Actually, let me get Legend so that it does not stun my Super Mines. Legend does pretty good damage, by the way. So it kind of sucks if it gets stunned, but whatever. What else should I get in the meantime? Oh, right, Anti-Balloon. I'm going to go for the bottom cross path so that I can see over walls. Ultra Vision. Monkey Knowledge, by the way. I think with this game plan, we should be good now. I know I didn't go for any temples. That's because I'm lazy to build them, and it's too cluttered right now with everything in the way. I guess I can sell the farms. I don't really need this 2 million, so just making space for other towers would probably help a little bit. Skull 1's about to hit, so that means Legend Knight goes goodbye. My only concern here is that if we take too long to kill Goemon students, that we will end up not having enough time, because 30 million is a lot of HP. I mean, I think that goes without saying, and also, crap, it's going way faster than Goemon. That's not good. You know what? I think I'll just go for the Paragon. Let me put it actually in a new spot. Actually, it doesn't matter, crap. It doesn't matter because it'll move anyways with the next skull. I did not realize how fast it was. That's a degree 35, by the way. You know what? Let's just go for it now. Degree 30 Dart 2. I really should have done this a lot earlier, but that's okay. It's better late than never. It actually might stun... No, it will stun the Glaive Dominus on the next skull. Actually, wait, it didn't get stunned. Yeah, we're about to kill Goemon, so that's good. I did not realize how fast... Like, compared to Tier 1, you can see that the Modus is just lightning speed. And again, I can't restart because you saw before that it causes a glitch. Or it glitches out and then I can't play it again. So, I'm not sure what I could do here. Maybe I can try the Wizard Paragon. It's just kind of crazy about that. Even with all these Paragons, the damage isn't there. So I might have overshot my shot in having 2 bosses at once here, yeah. Here, I hit the skull, so where did my whisper... Okay, it moved in a pretty good spot. Let's use the zombie effect. I think no matter what I do, we're not gonna have enough time, though. Like, it's really bad, especially when, you know, the Paragons here can't do anything. So I think the only way to have beaten this is probably to have started with the Ace Paragon in the first place, or have like the ranked boss setup where people spam Vengeful Toussaint got a bunch of snipers, so the shifting doesn't matter, but yeah. Again, apologies for the scuffness of this boss run here, but still, hope you enjoyed the boss concept, because they're interesting. And that's what I want to see in these, like, modded bosses more than really anything else, even the victory screen. As much as I love that. Not gonna have one today. I guess if I had to pick one of the two bosses that I showcased here, Modus has a better concept, I guess. Even though the description of Goemon was pretty close to get it up there, but yeah. Unlucky, I guess. And I see if you just continue again, the boss... I'll play the round, but the boss is gone, so... So they added a balloon editor to the game. And by they, I don't mean Ninja Kiwi. This is actually a mod made by Commander Cat, and it's pretty freaking cool. And if I didn't tell you, you might have been led to believe it's actually real, because, like, they've got a whole new panel here, a whole sub-menu, where you can import certain balloons, create balloons. I've already played around with this mod a little bit, so I'll just show you. For example, I've made a balloon here called Ballon. And you see when I pull up, there's a huge customization menu where you can do so many things. So for one, here are the visuals. I don't know, made it half and half, just because I wanted to make something, I guess, fairly simple, so I'll leave it at that. But I'll have you know you can do a lot more with it, like giving the balloon a bow tie, a face, a sword, a fedora, and more than that. But again, let's move on to stats, where you can choose any amount of health, speed, cast drop damage, any properties, and balloon children. What I wanted to do for this balloon is to not spawn any children, in fact, not do any damage, but rather, let's jump over to the third panel here. It's simply going to be a status effect balloon. So here you can add a trigger where if something happens, you can make something else happen. So say if the balloon reaches a certain percentage, when it gets damaged, when it gets sold, or a tower gets sold, etc, etc. This one is an on damage trigger, so anytime a tower damages the balloon, I've made it stun towers. So this is part of an action where I can do more than just stun towers. I can also move and drain lives, and we can also add a behavior such as damage reduction, increasing balloon speed. But I just made it pretty simple here. I want to stun towers for, is 3 seconds good? Yeah, I'd say so. And a cooldown of 2 seconds, so you can't, like, have towers constantly stun. Actually, that's a little bit OP. I'll do a 4-second cooldown, just so maybe towers aren't perma-stunned. And lastly comes the spawning. What rounds do you want this to spawn on? I think since I'm making a balloon that doesn't leak lives, but rather is just an annoyance, I want to spawn out on multiple rounds. So let's say, I'm gonna do a chimps run later, but let's just have it spawn out every round. Forget. Yeah, I guess 10 is good, and I'll space them pretty far apart. And that's my first balloon. Second balloon I want to add to my rule set is this one called Placeholder, but I actually want to call it the orange balloon because they don't have an orange balloon yet. I think it's the only main color that is not an official balloon. So why don't we make a concept of it? And I think I want to add onto the purple hierarchy. So this one's a speedy boy, leaks 1 life on its top layer, and spawns out 4 purples when it pops. No behaviors. I wanted to spawn after a purple, so I just set a couple already. Maybe around 29 is a good round to have them start with. I'm gonna pick rounds where they're already pretty easy. So around 41, I'm gonna have a giant clump. What's another round I can add it on? How about 50? It's not an easy round, but let's make it more difficult by spawning a bunch of 15 of them, maybe. Heck, let me try a hyperdense orange balloon round. So let's do, I want to send out 200 with 0.25 spacing. So like a mini 63. And frickin' more hyperdense because I like doing the funny. 300 with 0 spacing. It starts falling off later on in the game, so I'm just gonna not add too much. Remember that every balloon I add here, since it gains cash on pop, will make us gain more money throughout the run. So maybe this is a little bit too much extra money we're giving, but I'll leave it at this many rounds. And now for the third and last balloon. Let's make this one more late game oriented. Now, unfortunately, I don't think you can currently make it so it looks like a Moab unless you use a custom display, but I haven't done any of that yet. By the way, since you've seen all these panels and behaviors, let me know in the comments, like, if you have any ideas for balloons, because I feel like if any of you have a banger idea, it could make for, well, some banger content, so yeah. I look forward to whatever you may come up with. I'm not gonna make this one too crazy looking, but I'll do like a 3-color split balloon, so you know what's up. I think we can also, oh, if I make this bigger, that means it spawns out bigger. I don't know what I want to call this balloon, so I'm just gonna show my creator code. Let's make this thing have 1000 HP. And sure, why not? We'll give it white balloon properties. Let's add some children to it. This panel, I guess I didn't show you yet, but there's so many things you can add. Not just normal balloons, but bosses. I don't know if I want to try that for today. But let's see what else they get. You can even spawn mini rock balloons, which sounds interesting. Even golden balloons. I want to try spawning out the deadliest balloon there is, though. So how about some red regrow camos? And let's spawn out this many of them. I just picked a random number from 1 to 100. Totally random. Behaviors. What trigger do I want? Let's try maybe a time trigger. So every 10 seconds, what do we want to do? I say we buff the balloon speed. I don't want to make it too OP because balloon speed triggers are pretty OP, but let's do double, and I think distance behind is like, I'll leave it at default 45 because I don't know what the numbers is, but okay, so one thing to clarify is that the behavior is, like, you don't link it to a trigger, it's already there inherently. I think that's a bit too OP. How about we'll do we'll go back to 1.5, we'll do every 10 seconds, let's spawn balloons, okay. Let's spawn, red regrow camos, why the hell not? We're gonna make this really, really challenging. Okay, jokes aside, I can make this even more challenging by spawning them a good amount ahead. So how about 90 units ahead? So that means we have to pop this pretty darn early. I like this now, and how would I want this to work? For starters, let's have it spawn on the last 20 rounds of the challenge. Starting off with, I'd say one of them. Because wait a minute, can I do this? Say have one spawn up from 81 to 100 and then spawn another one out from 85 to 100, so that means every 2, or rather 86, so 2 in the last 15 rounds. And then in the last 10 rounds, spawn out 3 per round. And then I'll just fill in the easy rounds with more of code ISAB balloons. So how about a bunch on 97? Hell, let's make 98 really hard by spawning out, sure, 10 of them. And then why not? How about more of the same on around 100, just to add to the bat, and I think I'm done. How will a game look like with these 3 new balloons added? Cornfield chips is going to be the challenge, and I actually edited the balloon speeds a bit, or the balloon spacing a bit, because I realized that my spacing was set way too high. So it's now closer, but watch this. Oh, look at that stun. With the sawdust start, it's a GG. What used to work on round 6 no longer does because of the stun effect. This might be a little bit too OP, by the way. So we'll see if I need to, like, die down the round a little bit, because I think the stun's too OP. Yeah, it's way too good. If not even 3 Dart Monkeys can do it, then it's because of the stun cooldown is too short. Only 1 second duration. Or rather, 1 second window for this to end up working. Alright, let's dive down to Balance then. A map where I think if I don't try to cheese by using flying towers, then the stun would be interesting, because the spots where I have them, well, they're in the prime position to be stunned. So we're trying Sada, for example. We also changed the stun from 2 seconds with a 2-second window. And it looks like Sada does have enough attack speed. Or not, crap, she leaked one red balloon this round. Alright, let's try last targeting. Not gonna lie, it's really confusing looking at balloons leaking, but you actually don't lose the game. As crazy as that feels. I definitely had the spacing way too big, though, because those came out well after all the balloons came out. Alright, though, we're doing it. Round 7 beaten. Well, still getting stunned half the time for Sada. And now I think this round I'll go ahead and add sub. And how does this do? I think the range is big enough that the stun radius doesn't reach it. So I guess that makes things a little bit easier. And that probably is the meta we're going to try to do. Use towers with pretty big range, so it more than likely won't get stunned. Should I go ahead and do... oh, I still died. I think I'll go ahead and do longer range. Also, don't mind me, I'm just testing, but can I... Oh, I can glue the balloon as well, which is definitely something I don't want to do. The meta is you probably want to leak that as soon as possible so it doesn't stay in the middle of the track. Ooh, I think we might have to try like a raw damage, an all damage, no support strategy here. That sounds spicy. Now, I probably should remember this from Vortex, but what happens with Glaive Lord spinning glaives while it's stunned? Does it still do damage, or is that also disabled? Regardless, I still want to try it out, because Glaive Lord on this map balance sounds pretty good, does it not? And I can probably work around the all the stuns there. I did say it was like half uptime, because 2 seconds stun for 4-second cooldown, but when there's multiple, it's a bit more than a 50% stun. Also, orange balloon alert, it is spawning next round. I repeat, next round. I did set the speed to 100. I wonder how fast that is relative to other balloons. I guess we'll see right now. So here comes the tiny orange balloon. I guess I should have made it bigger so it looks more real. But it's obviously not really much of a threat considering... oh, actually, no, we're good. I thought it'd be an issue initially, but nope. Glaive is good in this map and will probably carry us through the early game. We won't be seeing that for another 10 rounds. Damn, 7k saved up around 36. Pretty well considering, again, the balloons we're up against. I'm gonna finally get more glaives, though. Also, at a certain point, we are gonna have enough damage to pop these balloons, because I didn't set them to infinite HP. What was it? 100 health? So I guess come late game, there's no problem with maybe using glue or slowdowns, because we're gonna have enough damage. If we can't do 100 damage to come around 100, well, we've probably got other problems to worry about. Good thing we added the third balloon then to provide a bit more of a challenge. So here we go. Let me try to get the leaping sword off if possible to get some mob damage in. And so we can kind of clean up. ASAP, there we go. Damn, more glaives on easy maps in a nutshell. I went ahead and used Sawdust Sword Charge or Leaping Sword because I don't have cam protection. Guess I might as well buy this, but I can probably rush this very soon. As crazy as that sounds. Well, at bare minimum, I'll do a 202 so that my sub can actually affect camos. Then there's less need for... oh, actually, no. I was gonna say less need for a cam protection, but we'll just do a Leaping Sword in close here. Right in the crater, so... because, like, that doesn't get disabled. Once you get the ability off, it can work through the stuns. Oh, I didn't even buy a fancy intel, but now we got it. Alright, it was this round, though, that we added a bunch of orange balloons. Although, I guess, yeah, we got stuff that isn't really magic tower, so it's probably not going to be much of an issue. The biggest issue is the stun, and the fact that I don't have enough mob damage because of the stun. But we're so close to getting Glaive Lord. Let's see if we can just get away with it, if I can just activate Leaping Sword. There we go, beat it in the crater. My more glaive says, thank you very much for the extra money, orange balloons. I will take it with open arms. Oh, I don't have Leaping Sword for both Moabs. One problem with stun is that, well, it stuns the cooldown of your Leaping Sword too, so we gotta tack on that extra time. Okay, fine. How about triple guns and an Alpha on it? This, again, since it gets stunned the least, I think they should probably do all the mob damage to it, and there should be no problem. Yep, we're good now. And attaboy! Purple balloons, or rather orange balloons, are no more. Now I kind of regret not making those purple balloons any stronger. Or maybe having the code ISAB balloon spawn a little bit earlier, because I feel like Glaive Lord, again, on this map, will shred. Now, can I place a village somewhere? Crap, I don't think I can. Only over here. The other spots are too small for a village. Friends, this is now a Glaive Lord showcase, and that was this 67. This is where I set, like, the giant hyperdense clump of oranges, and all they did to the Glaive Lord is give us, like, 10k this round, I think. Yeah, maybe I should have picked something that is, like, literally the dense balloon killer. Ah, well, we shall wait to see what happens on round 81. Yep, there's the double size of the Badlon. And wait, 1k HP. Wow, that took a long time to kill it. And look, you can see which balloons were sped up. And it looks like it's permanent. I think it's whenever it spawns out, whatever was tailing behind it will get the speed buff. Anything that comes out after the fact or too far behind will not inherit it. See, 2 here. Actually, a lot more here. Good to know we do have enough, though. And you know what? I don't like the lack of stun scene right now, so I'm gonna back out and change the stats. I am now going to make the Badlon invincible. 100,000 health. And you know what? Let's make it harder too. I think now we can go back to stunning it for 3 seconds instead of 2. Because clearly Glaive Lord is a little bit too OP here. So, wait, okay, there's a stun. And let's see how brutal it is. Look, 3 out of 4 seconds, we just leaked the Ballon. And it's gonna kill us. Let's add another tower to the mix then. Well, how about we use that spot I said I liked for attack zone? Because I need mob damage. This does it. Can it do 1k now while getting through the stun? Or is it still not enough? Wow. It's still not enough. 1k HP is deadly. Wait, genius idea. Let's buy a downdraft. And can I do the following? Oh my god. Okay, I've cracked the code, guys. I will choose only to blow back this thing. I know it's like a quote-unquote infinite range tower, so it doesn't get stunned, but this is the only one I'll allow, okay? Hell, this still might kill us because of the extra stun duration. Look, we're dead though. Okay, I might have made the stun too OP now with adding an extra second. Okay, I just went ahead and added 1 extra cooldown for the stun, and instead of doing attack zone, since I have this to infinitely stall the Ballon, I will just get rid of attack zone, and we'll do a Bomblets for the funsies. I don't think it's any good, but why the hell not? So, in fact, I should just leave my downdraft over here. Oh crap, the stun though. I think we're almost dying because of the extra speed buff that Code ISAB gives. I'm gonna beat all the balloons first and then deal with Code ISAB. How was that? Yep, all killed. Let's move it in. And we should be able to get 1k damage in here. Nice. Now things are starting to get a little spicy, aren't they? Let's do a Raider scanner as well. Let's cheer for outbuff the Bomblets. And we are now at the point where 2 Code ISAB spawn. Can we... Okay, it looks like I don't even have to downdraft them to do 1k damage anymore, so that's good. We can just keep on rolling with this. I also just realized that this doesn't hit DTs. I need DT defense. Well, good thing I got 36,000. They kind of look like they're getting through a downtime. And they... Wait, they are. Or they almost did, it feels like. No, they did. Damn. Alright. No one's ever done any wrong with doing a Prince of Darkness, right? Especially since all of these zombie balloons create in the middle. And they'll do damage while they're stunned. So best of both worlds. I like it. Let's drop an outbuff in the middle here now. I do sense a problem around 100 with bad damage, but we'll figure that later. This looks like a good get, though, for at least round 90. And now with round 91, I think I set 3 Code ISABs coming in, but perhaps I need to make a 4th tier, or a 4th tier of balloon that had more HP. Because we're at the point now where 1k damage is, like, nothing. Not gonna lie, the balloon speed is very scary, though. Can't even tell on this map when things are gonna leak or not. Reminder, next round I set, what was it, 8 Code ISAB balloons coming in, but again, no problem, right? What's crazy too is that those children that the Code ISAB balloon spawns, the 69 Camel Rigger Reds, they're apparently not even a threat. No slowdown balloons versus 98 sounds like a disaster. But let's see, if I see anything leak, I'll try to activate Sawdust Sword Charge if there is even a window for it. Oh, yep, they're leaking now, they're leaking. Sword Charge? Oh, I don't have level 20 yet though. But that's fine. 1 sword charge does it. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, they all did pretty equal amounts of gear work. 500, 900k, and 630, right in the order of when I dropped them down. Oh, so close to being 99. We'll just add a mobile limb, and that should be GG, because that also beats around 100. And I'll use the ability here to break down 1 FDT at a time. And final round here, we still got the stun balloons spawning in, and Code ISAB balloons, but we should be okay, right? Here's another one. Oh, wait, what did I leak to? Okay, sorry, maybe I was blind. I actually did pop the bad. My bad. I didn't get enough sleep last night, alright? There we go. We skipped the DT insides, and now BFB is Moabs, and no stuns to be found, so GG. We just have to wait now for other balloons to spawn in. And that was fun. I bet, again, it could be even more fun if I had maybe better ideas, because this was just the first of maybe many runs of trying the balloon editor. So let me know if you have any fun ideas, and catch you all later.